Hey everyone, I'm Budget Nerd. Terramaster reached out and asked if I would check out their F2 212 2-bay NAS, so stay tuned and we'll do just that. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm honest in all my videos. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, and my thoughts are my own. With that in mind, let's take a quick look in the box. Inside the box is the NAS, which ditches Terramaster's standard silver for a satin black plastic finish, and it feels pretty solid. Like all the NASs I've reviewed, this one does not come with any drives. On the back is a power button, two USB ports, a gigabit Ethernet port, and a jack for power. Also, in the box you get a power adapter, an Ethernet cable, and hard drive screws. The F2 212 is one of Terramaster's least expensive units, coming in at $170. You get a quad-core CPU, but it most certainly is a lower priced and or lower powered solution. It also comes with 1 gig of RAM. It's a plus that it's DDR4, but it's not upgradable. Installing the hard drives was pretty easy thanks to the toolless hard drive bays. Plugging it in was also pretty easy, and setting it up was also easy with one exception. Head over to start.terra-master.com to start the setup, but after the initial setup, it wouldn't come back up. I needed to install their TNAS PC app to continue. This TNAS app, it seems like, will help identify Terramaster's NASs on your network, which I guess is what I needed. After doing this, I was able to pull up the NAS, its webpage, and finish the setup. In a nutshell, if you can follow a recipe, you can set up this NAS. This NAS is, like most of the rest I've reviewed, aimed at the home or small office. You can get 4K encoding, tons of backup options, and multimedia uses out of this, but the 1 gigabyte of RAM will somewhat limit what you can do with it. An easy example is no virtual machines. 1 gigabyte of RAM is not enough to run one of those. However, for some, this may not be an issue. Their NAS's webpage, or OS interface, is pretty nice and well organized. You have quite a few options for changing settings, managing your 2 hard drives, creating users, setting permissions, and other such things. File Manager will let you see what you have on your NASs, and in the App Center, you can download and install software that will add function and features to your NAS. Terramaster does also have a good selection of apps as well, but this NAS will have fewer because of its more humble specs. They do have an app you can use, TNAS Mobile 3, I think is what it's called, letting you access your data from your phone, which is unnecessary for me, but could be handy for others. Something else that's interesting is Terra Photos, software on the NAS that you can install that will ID faces, pets, locations, attempting to classify and organizing them, making viewing photos easier. This could be handy for some. Mother, I'm looking at you. It's also neat that you can get their Terramaster 2.5 gigabit Ethernet adapter and upgrade this NAS to faster network speeds down the road using the USB, but it's sad that it's another $40. Speaking of running a speed test, which is moving a file from an M.2 SSD over a gigabit switch straight to the NAS, gave us okay speeds, hitting 40 to 41 megabytes per second. I ran the same exact test with Synology, the DS224 Plus I reviewed a bit ago, and it averaged about 10 megabytes per second faster, so speeds are okay, but nothing to write home about. One thing about this NAS I do not care for is how it looks. It doesn't feel cheap, but it does look that way. The lights on the front are really tiny and very hard to see. It's just very plain. It gets a pass because of its lower price for sure, but I wish it had a bit more flair to it. I kind of miss Terramaster's signature silver here, and I do think they could have made it a bit nicer to look at without making it more expensive. In the end, the value you get with this thing is pretty good as long as your expectations are in check. Don't throw anything CPU or RAM hungry at this NAS and you'll be fine. It's one of the most budgety options out there for a commercial NAS, and you can see where they had to pull some punches. But it's a great little NAS for those that would not really call themselves power users. Well, if you're interested, there's a link below in the description should you choose. And thanks for watching.